my loves. It's Sonia G. Welcome to a Moon Babes Monday Night Live. I wanted to say epic. Moon Babes Monday Night Live. You're going to remember this one for a fucking long time. We got shit to talk about. We got a half hour. We're going to do this thing, and it's going to be fucking phenomenal. All right, here we go. We're putting a timer on, and that's it. All right, I pinned a comment on what we're talking about. Welcome to everybody. Hang on, we actually have to put a timer on. So while everybody jumps on. Okay. So we are talking today about, first of all, I want to say this. Thank you to everybody that joined last week in my personal challenge of expansion, where I was at this incredibly amazing Airbnb and we had a mini training and it was phenomenal and everyone loved it and it was on Zoom. And now that mini training resides as a bonus of the Ninja Lightworker course, which you guys know starts tomorrow. And if you've been contemplating it, it closes tomorrow night. And I'm going to talk to you about it because this is a last call for the people that actually need to be in this course because we have a planet to change and higher skills are needed. Ding, 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 ding. Let's begin, my loves. Let's begin. Number one, let's talk about the Shuman resonance. There are 6 days of darkness. This is the headlines on the interwebs. 6 days of darkness of the Shuman resonance. We all know what the fuck the Shuman resonance is. If you don't know, Google the shit out of it and understand how it affects you, okay? I am on one tonight because I feel like I really am ready to start talking to people at a higher level. And I've kind of just allowed for the general situation of the world to be like, okay, let's all baby, the people here. But the truth is nobody needs babying. Like we're here, we're masters of light and we do need to talk on a higher level. So let's do this thing. So the Shuman resonance is the magnetic field of the earth. In the magnetic field of the earth, okay, the frequency, resonance frequency of the earth, this is what supports us. We, individuals, inside of a human body on planet Earth are magnetic. All of our feelings are magnetic. Our thoughts are electric, our fields, okay? And our feelings are magnetic. When the Shuman resonance, meaning the magnetism of the planet, is affected by solar storms, by other things, by all of the cosmic currents, and simply the fact that it's ascension, okay? And we're moving up in the galaxy. What happens? The magnetic field that holds us, that connects us, okay, goes down. It's offline. So all of a sudden, everybody is like, oh, I feel like there's no energy. I feel that people feel squished, okay? There was a video that I ran into today from someone who I follow on YouTube called Suspicious Observer. So here's a shout out to their channel. They keep track of like solar flares and just solar anomalies. And, I look into that stuff because it affects us, because it's plasma light, because this is where our codes come in, except a lot of people just look at them like, hey, this is how frequency radiation that's affecting our planet. And one of the things that they said in this video was like, the world is going crazy. Everyone is stressed out. Everybody is depressed. Everybody's having a hard time. This solar radiation is so much, right? And it's so hard to explain to people how we feel. Everyone is compressing. Well, guess what? We are the ones that are responsible to create the grids. We are the ones that are responsible to create the magnetic sphere that links us. We are the ones that are responsible for our fucking survival. We are the ones. Literally, we are the ones responsible for our sanity, for our abundance, for our happiness, for our joy, for our health, for all of these things, including the magnetic sphere of our planet, okay? This is why we work together. This is why we really ground, and I've been preaching this and teaching this for a long time. We have to ground for fucking real. Don't just put your feet on the earth and call it a day. Okay? Like, we actually have to energetically, magnetically ground and create the grids. This is how you feel good when, there is a 6-day blackout and everybody is like, oh, what the fuck is happening? And I have headaches and I feel so tired. Okay. So when you, again, emit your own frequency, when you create, when you are an active participator in the ascension of planet Earth, instead of, oh, let's go along for the ride. Let's see what's happening today. Is it going to be a good day? Is it going to be a bad day? Let me put my feelers out. Let me put my energy tentacles out to see what's going on. Like, oh, it's a bad day. I'm just going to stay inside, right? Like, we can't do that shit anymore. Like, we are in charge of creating these next layers of reality. I said it before, and I said at the beginning of this year, some people are going to deal with a lot of karmic cleansing and a lot of family bloodline cleansing this year. And the other people, this was the 27th degree activation that we had earlier in this year. The other people are responsible to create. We get to create out of a void. Okay. And sometimes, you're on both teams. Some of us are on both teams. We get to do it all. But the point is that we get to create, even though we have no fucking clue how to truly, we have no clue how to restructure the politics of planet Earth. I mean, we have no idea how to actually set up these new systems. But guess what? Earth was created first in the spiritual. Then it was established in the spiritual. Then I actually reread the story of the creation over this last weekend in the Bible and in one of my favorite books, which is called The Pearl of Great Price, if you ever get your hands on it. It's a sacred scripture. And in a book called by Abraham, called whatever, it's called The Pearl of Great Price. Anyways, in the chapters written by Abraham, there are the writings when he went to Egypt, and he had a conversation with God. And they taught, and all the gods, and God actually explained the whole situation of like the gods and the family of the gods, and it's fucking beautiful. It's just not common knowledge. Anyways, in there is an account of how detailed every piece of creation was in the spirit. And then God saw that it was good. Let there be light. And then he said that the light was good. And then he created this. And then this was good. And then it was decided that it was good. And then let there be this. And right? And there was a whole sequence of things. First things were created. Then it was declared that they were good. They were observed. Right? They were good. And everything was created in detail in the spiritual realm, in the etheric realm. Then it was created in the physical. Okay? We are doing the same thing. These books and scriptures that are like sacred scriptures are literally our reference point. I had a conversation with a dear friend about astral travel and how I learned and how I know and where were my reference points, because I didn't have anybody teach me these things. And I was like, you want to laugh so hard? The only reference I had were actually the teachings in the Bible. Because everything, it says everything. It's just that people number one, don't want to read it. Number two, they remember like the bullshit from, what the churches teach, which is not actually the teachings of the sacred scriptures. And it's really hard. It's really difficult to read. But in there were a lot of teachings that teach you a lot of very, very highly functional parameters of how to do things. It talks about a lot of the shit that we see in the astral planes, except a lot of people write it off like, that's in the Bible. Somehow it's okay, right? I've always said this. It's okay that angels appeared in the Bible and people went on high mountains to receive revelations and children were born by, divine visitation. This is all fine because it's the Bible and it's ancient. What the fuck ever? We are on the same planet. This shit is still going on. Like, this is still happening, right? Okay. So anyways, lots of reference points there. So we get to create the layer of new earth that we came to create. We don't get to cave in when there's no magnetic field of the earth. We don't get to have these like dysfunctional days. Like, You realize that the more people unplug and go unconscious, there's no field. When there's no field of the earth, it's those that create that get to create. That's us. Okay. And you have to be skilled. You have to know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're one of the people that's just going along for the motherfucking ride, right? You are one of the people that did not come to fucking change the world. You're one of the people that's just surviving day by day and you're not getting ahead. And I am fucking calling it like it is because there's too many people that are just like babying themselves like, oh my gosh, I'm doing the best I can. But are you fucking really? Are you really doing the best that you can? If you're honest with yourself, or do you just tell yourself that because you're stressed out of your fucking mind and you don't understand why? Because your nervous systems and your organs and your thought processes and your energy field and everything that you knew about working on planet Earth as a light worker doesn't work anymore, but you can't admit it to yourself because otherwise, what? You'd be a fucking failure. And that hurts the ego. Remember that. Okay. So once you actually look at these things and you're just like, okay. So like whatever, all of these things. And it's not that you're a fucking failure. It's just that that's what your ego says. Okay. Those are the words that we are afraid to hear. So we don't even ask the question. But what happens if your ego tells you that you're a failure? You know, if you're my ego, and you have the things that happen in Florence to me happen where I literally made myself into this medical condition out of just how pissed off I was and I exploded in myself. Like, yes, there's a lot of things that you could say that you could actually judge yourself with. And then what? And then you clear it and then you bless it and then you move forward and then you say, hey, I'm having a human experience. This is what fucking happened. I let my guard down. I fucked up. Whatever it was, or maybe it was a learning lessons, but I'm not going to judge myself for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do better, right? Like what I'm going to do is learn from whatever experience, whatever mistakes, whatever mishaps, whatever circumstances. I'm going to take that and I'm going to fucking learn everything that I can from it and I'm going to use it for good. And I am going to continue to evolve and I'm going to realize that it was on my path for a reason. That's it. Not hiding, not pretending like everything is okay when it's not, right? So we all have shit to learn. And I think a part of it too happened because a lot of people, I think it's easy for people to say, your life is perfect, right? When you look at me, it's like, oh, but it's so easy. You already arrived there and you have perfect health and you have the boyfriend and the house, right? Whatever, you've established the business. Shit happens at every fucking level, right? And so here I am with very much non-perfect health right now, but on my fucking sure way to perfect health, healing my body, doing all the things that I'm still, meant to be doing. Because it's not like all of a sudden life gets derailed. Like our mission, not even life, our mission doesn't get derailed, right? Everything that we experience is part of it. And we get to do what we came to do any fucking way. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if this is going or if this is going or if this is happening or I had a bad day, I had a fight, I had a physical break, whatever the fuck. Our mission doesn't pause or stop or take a break, right? Like we are still on mission. Therefore, everything is still needing to be in that alignment and we still need to move forward. So it's important to understand this. And when was giving up ever a fucking option? It's like the reel that I made, that I created today. The audio says plan B is not an option, right? If plan B is not an option and you do not energize any other timeline, then your only timeline that you're energizing is your highest timeline, and your highest timeline has to manifest, but you have to learn to hold it and to manifest and to create. And in order to create from nothing, literally nothing, we don't even have the magnetic field of the earth. We are in charge. We have to know where to go and get that creator energy, right? The places where we go, up on top, above the 13th dimensional plane, above the connection to higher self, all the way to source, all the way into source code. That's creation energy. The people that have access to that can create. The people that don't, that never put in the mental focus and effort and understanding and stretching of their mental ability and energetic ability and fucking financial ability and time ability, right? Like whatever it is, there's an investment. There's an energetic investment. It's time, it's money, it's energy, it's focus, it's motivation, it's whatever the fuck it is, but there's an investment. And when we put energy into something, the something comes back to us, right? Like, oh, I wish I would have learned that in high school. Think about all the things that we say. If we would have been taught these principles, like emotional intelligence in school, instead of the bullshit that we were taught, right? Imagine where we would be now. Well, fast forward 10 fucking years from now. Where do you think the world is going? What do you wish that you would have learned now that, 10 years from now is going to come in handy? So there are a lot of things that I want to wake you up. It may be a course of mine, it may not, but just fucking do something to move forward, because there's a big energy that is stuck. There's a lot of people that are just like, horrible faces, but there's a lot of people that are just stuck, idle, just idiot land, like literally squished by the energetics of everything that is going on in the world. And, this is the shit. This is where the other side wins, right? This is where, and people say all of this stuff. You know what I'm talking about. We can call it whatever, but it's the agenda. That's how they win, right? Like, we have to find our own resources, and our resources are internal. Our resources are not external. External things, like, you can go have an experience that's an external experience, right? But it's what you learn and the skills that you learn to take with you that ultimately will provide the framework for you to create your own reality, and therefore the reality of your family, and therefore the reality of your community. Once we all learn how to do this, then our frameworks, kind of like in a video game, right? They all connect, and it becomes a sustaining experience. But you have to learn to do it for you. You have to learn to do it for you. You cannot camp on anybody else's fucking frequency grid without contributing to it. Okay? You can't just fucking plug in and suck light from other people. It is time to emit your own light. Okay? To emit your own frequency, which means you have to have the skills to generate it. I mean, drawing on other people, like coming here, hanging out with me, getting motivated, getting lit up. Like, this is the thing. This is good, right? But when it comes to every day, you can't rely on external, input, because what would you do if everything is a true blackout? Then what do you do? If you don't have videos to listen to, if you don't have a book to guide you, do you know what you're doing? Do you have it? Can you work through your physical body, through to your spirit, through to your soul, and figure out what the fuck is going on and get the guidance to get to where you're going, right? These are the skills that fucking matter. Ultimately, these are the things, right? The rest is added on world experience. The rest of the things we buy that are pretty and fantastic and the food is great. We're on a planet where we get to experience the joy of eating food, the joy of loving partners, like the blue skies. Like, we get to experience so much magic on planet Earth. We also get to experience a lot of shit. It's part of the deal. But that's just an add-on. And don't forget that, what the reasons why we're here is the only thing that's going to make you feel sane. It's the only thing that's going to energize you. It's the only thing that's going to make you feel like you fucking belong. Because until you pretend that you're like everybody else and you try and do things on their format, it's not going to work. There's not very many of us that came that are so different, right? And like we've said inside many of my courses, it's like, there's a group of people that have very well identified themselves as the black sheep. I still don't belong with the black sheep. There's like a next level category of those black sheep. The majority of black sheep somehow end up in some kind of defeat, in some kind of like not good enough, defeated, hiding, judged, and they hold this little, bubble. Fuck that. No, I'm the black sheep that came to shine. You're the black sheep that came to shine. We're not like the rest of the black sheep. Okay? So like, this is why I always say we're the special ops team of the cosmos. This is why I'm teaching a course called the Ninja Lightworkers, because there are skills and there is knowledge that we are the ones that are called to literally go activate, liberate, rewrite. Who do you think is going to rewrite how astrology works? Are you tired of hearing astrologers say the same thing on fucking repeat about the planets going retrograde and where we're going? Like, are you tired of these systems that's like, oh, this is how it's going to go now. And we've learned from history that this is da 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 da. And so now we're going to face this. What the fuck? No. Somebody has to change it. That's us. We are the ones that came to rewrite the rules. We are the ones that came to clear out the situation and bring in a new one. We are the ones, okay? We actually have to go do it. So it's kind of like we have to not just envision it. We have a big ass job, because it's not that we just get to sit here and dream of a better world and send this light out. We actually get to fucking do things. We have to actually do them. So we have to create them and then we have to do them, right? And the first step is that we have to get in that higher alignment. We have to get in that place where we're actually doing the job. For a lot of us, that job is in the cosmos. I happen to be here on my mission, on my purpose, which was to bring in and to integrate this 39D on the planet and to bring everybody into this higher connection, as has been predicted by Barbara Marciniak and the Pleiadians in many of their books. These are the things literally that I came to teach. This is my mission. This is my job. We are the people. We are the pioneers of this new frequency bandwidth of reality. And everybody is out there saying like, hey, will the humans do it? Will all of the starseed masters of light like incarnate? Will they actually remember? Right? One of the things that happened in our kickoff welcome call, which was an amazing astral recalibration experience where we got to rewrite a lot of our astrology in Ninja Lightworker. One of the things that happened, which has been happening in different courses at different stages, is this deep moment where it's like, holy shit, you remembered. You remembered this appointment in time and space, and you are here, and you are learning this, and you're downloading it, and you came to give permission, to give okay, to give accountability. We are responsible. People in the spiritual realm, your counterpart, your grandpas, your, whatever, your people in the astral plane, the angels, the guides, our higher selves, they cannot do things in spirit, in the astral planes, even our star family. They can't do things in the physical realms. We are fully accountable for every choice, every decision, and every single thing that we ask for in terms of blessings, of guidance. There is a book called the Book of Life. There's also, every single one of us has one, okay, for ourselves. Some people call it the karmic book. But this is where you are accountable for everything, like everything, all of our thoughts. As soon as we figure that out, fuck, I had to clean up my thoughts like big time. I was like, and we're going to clear lots of this and we're going to clear lots of that. We're going to stop seeing people this way. We're going to stop judging people this way, right? Whatever. Anyways, there is a book, and all of our actions, all of our wishes, all of our, commands, all of the times that you ask for the house to be cleared, all the times that, you ask for this to happen, that's on you. That's on our record, right? That's on our tab. So as we go and ask and command and bring our own frequency to the game, right? Then now we're able to unlock other layers for things to happen on planet Earth. That is how this happens. But we can't just be here passively asking. You have to show up. You have to train for these things. You can't go run in the X Games, right? You can't go play in the X Games if you didn't train. You're not going to drive on Formula One if you didn't train and if you don't have the car. You're not going to get to these higher levels if you don't have the fucking skills. And I've been saying this for a while. So get the skills that you need and get to your next level and stop lying to yourself. This is like such a fire that has come through. A lot of people feel like, well, it's, good enough. But I feel like it's crumbling right now. I feel like everybody feels this crumbling situation that's happening because of the Shuman resonance and what's happening with the Shuman resonance. When everything goes flatline, how are you doing? Are you handling yourself? Are you holding your shit together, right? Which it's not about holding your shit together. That's like a bet. But are you holding your light together? Are you holding your vibe together, right? Are you still able to manifest, create, and live from a flow of abundance? Or are you hiding, waiting for a better energetic wave, to come forth? Are you waiting until the next moon? Are you waiting until the energy breaks? Because we didn't come here to break. We came here to create, okay? So get your ass moving. Stop working with people that are fucking ridiculous. There's also, I'm going to make a side note, and for some of you, this is going to be very direct, but it fucking is what it is. Listen, there's a big confusion with this. There's a big confusion with the Bible, with Jesus, with God, with all of these things. There's a bunch of people that got really freaked out about channeling, talking to entities, and they're out there saying, oh my God, all the entities are bad. We were lied, we were tricked. This is what happened. I'm going to make this very short, okay? If you exit your body from right here and you just go, oh, let me unconsciously go to the astral plane, or let me just talk to this guy next to me. Oh, there's an entity. I've said this in many other forms. If you exit out of your head and you flow out of your house and you go sideways in the astral planes, if you go a little higher where you can see the planet and you go sideways in the astral plane, you are going to get taken. You're going to get taken, okay? The astral planes, it's not candy fucking land. This is where sorcerers live. This is where all sorts of demons live. This is where all sorts of discarnate entities are. This is also where lower magic kind of arts live, okay? Not everybody's bad, but the majority of what you're going to encounter are people that want something for something, okay? If they're going to give you a thing, they want something in return. And it's usually binding. So people end up with really crappy ass experiences because they end up exchanging pieces of soul without realizing it. And whatever, they lose pieces of consciousness. They have weird ass experiences. They say that people, they thought that they looked like light and then they turn into demons, da 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 da. So we have to go and get very clear. Number one, get very grounded. Number two, get in your heart. If you don't know how to get in your heart, don't ever fucking fuck with light. Ever. You have to know how to get in your heart. 100%. You're never safe if you're not in your heart. Remember that. That's life. This is like fucking basics. I shouldn't even have to say that. Whew. Okay. So much fire tonight. Get grounded, get in your heart, get connected with your higher self, get integrated with your higher self. At this point, you move from 13D and higher. You do not go and hang out in the 5th plane, in the 6th plane, in the 7th plane, in the 8th plane. You do not go there unless you really, really know what you're doing and you really, really know how to navigate on a level that you will screen and recognize and test every single entity that comes in front of you. I don't fuck with it. I don't have time to fuck with it, right? I only go and talk to the people that are of the highest truth and light and serving the divine plan and that are on the higher planes. You vet your people out, right? Like, you vet your people out. If you go on a first date, for example, with someone who's going to take you out of town, like, would you go on a first date out of town with a stranger you know nothing about? Probably fucking not, right? Like, don't get in a stranger's car. Don't take candy from a stranger. Who do you think that these entities are? You have to understand who you're talking to. If you don't have the skills to do that, don't fucking talk to them. But here's the trick. Our soul is pulling on us to grow. It wants to learn and evolve and grow and expand and go navigate the astral planes. So what happens is your soul will end up going out there unconsciously. And then you're going to get these kind of side effects, which are not good. Or you're going to end up doing this in your dreams and have lucid dreams and then wonder what they're about. But the truth is you're here to do this work consciously. You're here to do it understanding how you're doing it and where to go and what to do. Then life takes on a whole other level. Then you get to remember who you are. Then you get to merge with levels of your higher self. Then you get to rewrite your own history. Then you get to create the new layers of planet Earth, okay? And we have a responsibility to do these things. So don't get lost. Don't work with people that are there's people that are renaming the Christ consciousness. I have now seen it spelled with a K, with a Y. Listen, people, you're not going to make it cooler by spelling it in alternative fucking ways. There was one Jesus that came in to embody the Christ. The Christ is an energy. It is a consciousness that a being who lived inside of a physical body named Jesus was lived on planet Earth. It's not a weird ass fucking thing. Let's stop making it weird. Let's stop making it like some funky ass names and abstract. Go talk to fucking Jesus in the astral planes. It is not hard and you will find him. Okay? He was a being. Want to talk to his mom? Want to talk to Mary Magdalene? Go and talk to her. But let's stop making excuses and listening to people that are having bad experiences and therefore blocking ourselves from accessing higher levels of consciousness. We are better than this. Okay? So don't get lost. And people have been tagging me in all sorts of weird, Bible shit going on. Ew, just eject. Block, delete. They're going to have to figure it the fuck out on their own, dude. There is only so many people that I can help that we can help. It's we get to do our thing. What's better than checking on it on yourself, right? When I was first figuring this stuff out, I vetted out my people for a year. I went and tracked back Moses and asked him about the shit in the Bible. I went and tracked different people. And I didn't just ask for a name and then believe it was them. I double checked. I said, tell me what it says here. Does this say this? Does this say that? How do we test this? Show me again. Da 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 da, right? You go through a series of tests. You don't just listen to anybody that's in the astral plane because you think it's cool. And this is kind of what happened to a lot of light workers because they were channeling. And I'm getting a transmission. Well, who is your transmission coming from? And do you know the people? Okay. So make sure that you know what you're doing, where your alignment is. Hold your field. Energy management is highly necessary. It's not even important. It's highly necessary. It's more necessary than you putting on clothes in the morning. Literally. Energy is everything. And we've been saying it, but I don't think that people really get it. I think that people were thinking that energy means I'm going to yoga and I'm drinking green smoothies and I'm meditating every once in a while. And I listen to cool podcasts, right? No, you're actually responsible for your entire energy field, inside your body, outside your body. Everything is your responsibility. Okay? So those of you that are ready to go recode your chakras, that are ready to understand what's beyond higher self's integration, what's beyond this recoding of the ancestral astral bloodlines, and how do we recode literally our physical body into the light body? How do we use our chakras on the next level? How do we actually unwind our DNA? How do we plug it into our brain? Now that we've been going through all of these DNA activations, how do we work with it? How do we actually support our nervous system? What are the things that we need to do as light workers when this massive photonic light is hitting us and we're responsible to be the transmuters and the transducers and the transmuters of it? How do we do this, right? And how do we keep up with it? And how do we keep up with ourselves? These are the ninja light worker skills. I will teach you elevated, higher level psychic awareness kind of skills, working in the astral planes, next level energy management, right? We're working with genetics. We're working with energy portals. We are working with bettering our physical, mental, spiritual state and the world around us in a way that's all happening in higher consciousness with higher laws. The result of it's going to be better everything, because that's how it works. When you're working with higher consciousness and you're stepping into your purpose and your mission, your body heals, your skin gets better, right? Like friends, people gravitate to you, you're glowy, everything is working for you. All the things are working out. Your immune system gets better. There's like magically no more headaches and like no diseases and no need for, depression medication, ADD medication, whatever. Like all these things happen because we're in higher consciousness. So go look at Ninja Lightworker. Ninja Lightworker skill number 1 is tomorrow night. We're going to go through a sequence of 7, okay, where you're going to learn things, even how to like lock up entities that are bothering you into like spirit prisons. I'm going to map out the whole astral planes in a higher way for all of you. These are ninja skills. This is not a beginner's course. This is like, how to ground and, hold your grounding. And then we move from their course. But if it calls you, and if you're kind of new to it, but you feel called to it, message me and we'll determine if it's a thing that you can jump into, okay? But I am calling all those of you that are on a higher level and realize that what we were used to doing doesn't work anymore, because the general light worker skills aren't working anymore. The field has changed. So the rules have changed. So we have to up level. These are these skills where we get to up level. Okay. And it's been a minute since I am like scared shitless to teach a course. I think last time when I was like, maybe this level of like, holy fuck, it was when I launched my very first course. And at that time I was teaching you guys how to talk to your higher self. So, but, it just, not that I don't have like, oh my God, I'm actually teaching this, right? Like when we move into a new course, but this is a whole new thing because it's new rules. And so this is the group that's going to learn it with me for the first time. And I hope that you're going to turn around and teach it to your people, right? Because nobody else is going to teach these skills out there. And sure shit, not the people that are like twisting all sorts of Bible teachings out there and like making things weird. There's a lot of light workers that have gone weird. Oh, let me say this in general. A lot of teachers, a lot of people that would consider themselves like, way showers and leaders and teachers and coaches. And like, there's just a whole new slew of people that it's like, it's disappointing. I would like somebody to look at and be like, oh, hey, like they're there. And it's like, no, I don't have anybody like that on the internet. Anyways, it's okay. This is my job. This is why I'm here. So whenever you're working with any teacher, whenever you're deciding on anything, okay, literally do it because you feel it in your heart. So energetically, you're an energetic being. You're a light worker. Like, you know how to use your intuition. You know how to do this. Sometimes we just forget, right? But the point is, go deep inside of you and then decide, right? And you will know, like, feel the feeling in your heart. Clear your mind. If you don't know how to do this by now, this is very important. Clear your mind and feel into your heart. Scan the things. Scan whatever it is. Is this for me? Yes or no, right? You'll feel little like, holy fuck. Or you'll feel something that's like, I feel no pull. I feel no magnetism. I feel nothing. When you feel nothing, that's a no. Okay? That's a no. Moving on to next teacher, next course, next thing. When you feel like, there's like a little butterfly, there's a little excitement, a little nervousness, then there's an energy pull. There is something going on there. So then you ask, right? Is this the time for me? Like, is this what I'm meant to do, et cetera, et cetera. That's how you know. Is this a person I'm resonating with? Is this in my highest and best alignment? And then you feel into that. And that's how you make decisions about people to listen to, people to follow, and courses to take. So do that with my ninja course. I put out a very specific call, a very specific frequency for it. So if you're a match for it, you're going to feel it. Okay. And the moment that you're on that page and you're reading it, and you check in, you will know if it's for you or not. It's not really going to be a hard one to kind of decide. But if you do have questions, let me know. moonbabetribe.com, and then go click on Ninja Lightworker on the menu, okay? And here on my Instagram, at Moonbabes and the Light Tribe, go to the link in my bio. It's the only link because Linktree has not been working, so you don't have all the options anymore. Mercury is retrograde. There's 7 planets retrograde. You know, technical things happen. But the link is working now in my bio. Let me know if you need it. I love you. Thank you for joining me. This is Sonia G. This is a Moonbabes Monday Night Live. Let this motivate you, spark you, inspire you. Take what resonates, leave the rest, okay? Like, per usual. Like, I spoke some very strong words tonight, so allow it to be useful to you. And if there's something that comes up in you like, why the fuck would she said that? That triggered the shit out of me. Then look at it. Because triggers come up so that we can clear shit out that we have judgments on. Okay, so I invite you to take a look at yourself, dig deep. We really don't have a whole lot of time to lose. To pretend like this is not urgent, the situation on planet Earth. I think we all see it, right? It's time to have this moment and call into action. So again, Ninja Lightworker starts tomorrow night, 9/13. It's the last day to register. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go and check it out. I love you. Find me at moonbabetribe.com. Oh, and any of those of you that haven't found me on like YouTube and my other channels, if you Google Sonia G, Moonbabes and the Light Tribe, you will find all of the things. When in doubt, Google. I love you. Have a beautiful week. Mwah.